Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a fun-filled weekend. And here is the virtual GP at Circuit de Catalunya, brought to you by Winners Academy and UltimateE. After a small break, we're so happy to be back here, bringing you a ton of action. And what better to kick off is our virtual Spanish Grand Prix just before the real GP kicks off tomorrow. And great for us to be partnering up with Winners Academy and for them to come on board and promote these virtual racing drivers, both sim and actual drivers taking part. Just before we enter qualifying, I'd like to welcome my co-commentator Sohil Shah, who's here with me. Most of you do know him from watching him race online on the track and real life, and hear him commentate as well. Sohil, welcome to the box.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. Looking forward to qualifying. I mean, we do have our usual suspects, but I think we have a lot of new names here as well. But it's going to be really interesting to see who nails this lap in qualifying. I mean, we do know that Barcelona, it's a mix. It's a great testing circuit. All the pre-season testing is done here because it's got a variant of corners, fast, slow, medium. So it works all sectors of the car and the driver really.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all everything. It's got low speed corners, medium speed, and high speed, and it's got fairly long straights as well. So it does test the mentality of the driver as well. But now, as we head into qualifying, we are looking at Sid Venkatesh here in the Williams with a really good livery this season, and we finally have the black Mercedes in the game as well.
Yeah, it's a good update. I mean, I think the black Merc looks stunning. I mean, okay, they are super quick anyways, but I think black really stands out, and more teams should be looking at this color.
Yeah, it's got a lot of factors in it as well. I mean, it brings out lots of things, and right now we are in qualifying, going through the session and turn 5. And why don't you take us around this lap?
Yeah, so this, I mean, coming through the first couple of corners to a very high speed, then you come down to that hairpin, which actually the track falls away from you. Then you come to this, then you come up the hill a bit into a medium left-hander, and the really quick, fast right-hander here. On qualifying, it's flat, and the DRS is open straight after that into the straight. Hard on the brakes, really hard. The slowest section of the circuit for the hairpin, probably just down to third. You should go into second and short to third. Ride the curves really hard, and then you carry a lot of speed into the right-hander. Then wait for it. As soon as the car rotates, you get hard on the gas for the short straight. Quick tap on the brakes for this tight right-hander. Then really cautious on the brakes for this tight chicane. Really muscle it over the curves. Get a good exit because the last corner is flat again. You're just going out the box. Open the DRS again to finish off the lap. Let's see where that takes him.
Yeah, he's put him in P2 with a 116.8, which is not bad at all. But Rajdeep Paul with the really blistering pace with P1 with a 16.1, I believe, or 16.2. But I think that's 6/10, almost 6/10. Yeah, that it is. On
yeah, and we've seen Rajdeep come up after a while. I mean, he's not one of the usual suspects who you see. I mean, you see the people who we know have Swaggy Dilly, we know Pradyumna Prakash, and they're quite a bit off. I mean, if you look at Paul, he's got Paul by half a second. So.
Yeah, obviously that's like 5 years in racing time. So these guys have some catching up to do, but and let's see if they can use the slipstream to some good advantage because they have some pretty good straights here as well.
Yeah, I mean, although it's not the circuit's not known for its overtaking, to be an overtaking circuit. Yes, it works in MotoGP, but in Formula One, it's a little more difficult because of the high downforce levels. But again, here by using Formula One 2020 on the Ps4, I think things are a little more different and does help people move up the grid. So the first race is more of a sprint. It's a 5-lap race, so you expect some fireworks. Guys are going to be going right at it and sets them up for the longer race too.
Yeah, the second race is 25%, and I believe it is again a reverse grid of the top 8 finishers as well. So that's going to make things even more interesting, and strategies going into this race are going to be there as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do know that they have to make a pit stop, and we'll have to look at who makes the call to run on mediums and pits early, and then who runs longer. But yeah, 4 lights, 5 lights. And after waiting for a while, 5 lights are finally off, and the guys are gone. The guy in P2 has got a big start, but there's a big crash at the back there. 2 of them have gone off. Wonder who that is. But I mean, the leaders are side by side, and Rajdeep just holds it around the outside. He's held on the outside to maintain his position. I think the top three have maintained themselves, but the yellow flags are out, as we can see in Sector 1. But the top six are still close to one another, coming into turn 4. The long right-hander putting the power down and trying to open that gap into second place. Braking, just trying not to lock up, going to this down the left-hander there. And yeah, things seem pretty settled now. So, I mean, they've gone to the groove. It looks like it's coming halfway down the lap.
Yeah, I mean, Rajdeep made a really good start. We had a Renault and a Williams get involved in the start of the race. Hope they can make it back. I believe it must be
I think that was Pradyumna. Yeah.
Brandon Zakaria, because they're pretty far behind now. And
Yeah.
coming towards the end of lap 1, everybody's charging. Rajdeep already making a buffer between him and the Red Bull behind him. Kind of ghastly Albon showing going on right now between P3 and 4, between Swaggy Dilly and an unknown name.
Yeah, we will get back to you with who Mystery Man is. But followed by Tanay Singh, Azun in 6th. And then you have the rest who coming up. Remember, you see Akil Agarwal moving up into the top 10 after qualifying. So he's probably going to be eyeing to try and finish in the top 8 to get that reverse grid starting position and move up front in race 2.
Yeah, these are all strategies that come into play every time, and we're seeing so much of action coming through these last few weekends as well. And there are quite a lot of drivers, 4 drivers to be exact, in the pits right now. So they probably have picked up some damage on lap 1 and hoping to make a recovery. And if they can bring it back up to the reverse grid pole, then that's going to be one of the best finishes that they would hope for this race.
Oh, definitely. I mean, again, what this does is this short race. What it does is it gives them the opportunity to recover from that. If they had a poor qualifying session, or they're still trying to find some pace, and that reverse really changes things, and gives people who are in the mid pack an opportunity to actually, get a good result at the end of it and score some good points post the 2 races.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is a good point that you made there, and that's definitely something that the drivers will be looking at. But coming towards the end of lap 2, Rajdeep Paul has made that gap bigger and bigger as he's gone on, and now it's almost 2 seconds. And
You see the Renault, they're just losing it. I don't know who that was. But Tawan's lost out a lot of time. They're getting on the throttle too early coming to the chicane. I think the turbo just kicked in too hard, and he was immediately off. Not having a good weekend there, the Renault.
yeah, the Renault team's gonna be very disappointed. Knowing their real life form, they're probably gonna end up protesting against the curbs or something after this, and the FIA will look into it. But for now, that's a mistake made by him, and he's fallen a couple of places. And yeah, the top 3 remain as it is, and the other drivers fight it out. It's good to see that there is some close racing going on as well, and everyone's very close to each other, other than the front pack, which probably would have been a bit more exciting though.
I mean, for sure, but like I said, Barcelona is a circuit where you do see more of, they get into this routine, and there aren't that many opportunities really, unless the guy in front is pressured from the one chasing and then makes a mistake, which I think in 5 laps you can hold your nerves, because doesn't take it's not too long. But I think the mistakes start coming up in the longer race, when concentration is really required. Put the test.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, as I've always said, and something that I need to do myself. Patience is quite required in this kind of race, going into the second half of it, and it's going to be very much required to be patient on your overtakes and make sure that you get everything in the correct sequence rather than quickly.
I think we've missed out something here, because Azul has moved up 1 place, which is from 5th to 6th. Akil has come in the last 2 laps from 10th. I mean, he started somewhere in 14th or 15th, but he's come from he was 10th a lap and a half ago, and now he's moved up to where's that 9th? He was in 6th, and then he will drop back to 9th. There's a lot of shuffling going on there in the top, between 6 to 10, and then someone the Red Bull again goes off there. I think that was Arya or his teammate, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, we really don't see who the other driver is, so that's just a hunch that it's an Arya.
So yeah, it's from 6 to 12. They really, I think, making a lot of mistakes and just shuffling with one another.
I mean, obviously, it's a 5 lap race. Everybody wants to get as many points as possible.
Yeah.
I think we should change up some regulations on points to make it less chaotic. But yeah, this is what we have. And starting lap 5, we are on lap 4, I think. Yeah, but Rajdeep Paul has just done a really good job so far. He is out there leading by 3 seconds. Of course, the smallest mistakes will bring everybody back up, potentially even lose a position for Rajdeepal, but he's done such a good job keeping that there. And Swaggy Dilly has also done really well to keep up with the Phantom, and I think that's Aman Abdullah, and he's keeping up with him and piling on the pressure, just half a second behind, and trying to find ways to use that slipstream in all possible ways. So he is on the last lap right now, so he does have one more potential overtaking spot. Do you think he'll do it? You think he'll go for
I
it?
think, I mean, if he's closer, but I don't think he's within a second off, but he's not close enough to make that move, you know. So I think he's just going to play it safe and settle. I think he's learning slowly, weekend by weekend to weekend.
Yeah.
But going just looking at the biggest winners and the biggest losers from this race, at least, you know, if you look at the positions gained and lost, you know, first, let's start from Azun, who's basically made up 3 places. You have Ticket, who's made up 6 positions. Siddharth Kulkarni, who's made up 3. Akhil, who's made up 9 places. You know, and then you've got people like Sid Venkatesh, who've gone down 6 positions. You've got Brandon, who's lost about 12 positions. Same as Prads, really, you know, who's lost 12, and then Akshay as well, who's lost about 7. So these guys are really who would qualified in the top 10 have really gone down. And but then coming across the line here, you have our winners. You have Raji, who's taken a comfortable win, followed by Phantom, and then followed by Swaggy Dilly, which is Dylan Zakaria. So a great race by the top 3, very consistent. Then you have Azun, who's come in, Tane, who drove a very clean race. Yeah, that's your top 5. So
Yeah, and as we cross the line, we see a lot of drivers getting the penalties as well. So these may not be the final finishing positions as we see here,
that's
and
true.
be fun to see where people end up. With the reverse grid race coming up as well, it's going to be uh, Rajdeep Paul starting P8, the Phantom in P7 and Swag in P6. So that'll be a good mix up for these drivers and try to make it up. I think Swag has been in the reverse grid a couple of times, so he has some experience over the others to make that up, and hopefully he can. We've seen some really good races as well coming from him before in these reverse grid races. So pretty sure you've seen some of them, and yeah, he's done really well there.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with you. But and now with the reverse grid, it's going to be really interesting to see what pulls out. You know, and first let's get a confirmation of what the starting grid is going to be post penalties, and then look at how look at how they take this 25% race forward.
Yeah, definitely. Strategy is gonna make a play in this because they have to make a pit stop. It's mandatory for them to make a pit stop and switch tires, compounds as well. And yeah, there you can see Rashti Paul taking his virtual trophy and celebrating with the virtual champion.
There you go. I mean, I can assure you that a Mercedes is going to be there tomorrow as well on this podium. But it'll be great to see and 2 Alpha on the podium as well.
Yeah, but I don't think the Mercs are gonna just be one of them. It'd be really good to see Ferrari on there as well, and Ferrari and Red Bull putting up some challenge maybe this weekend because they had winter testing as well, and so that's the final results by the way. And as you can see, these drivers, some of them had penalties, not everybody. So that's good, a lot cleaner from what they've done before.
Yeah, not as many as we expected, and so more or less the grid stays the same really. And now we just swap the top 8 for either starting grid as the starting order for race 2.
Yeah, so we'll just wait for everybody to rejoin the lobby, get the grid ready, and then we'll be on our way for race 2. And yeah, I mean, so far it's been a really exciting session, and we will be having one more race that's 25% long, and I believe that will be around 16 laps. I think around somewhere around 14 to 16 laps. So yeah, that's almost triple the amount of laps that they've done so far, and which means we're gonna come back with some triple the amount of excitement as well. So don't go anywhere, stick around, and yeah, we have Winners Academy as well this week with us on F1, helping and helping out these drivers to get some exposure outside of UltimateE as well, and that's really good to see other academies taking part in this.
Yeah, it's great to have people, getting involved. It's easier to get involved in the virtual sense because again, it's attacking the grassroots levels. Again, people have more accessibility, and with the current scenario of most of us being stuck at home still, I think it's great that people people like Winners Academy and whatnot enter the space because again, it also gives a lot of validity to the drivers taking part, because it's something that they get to win, something that they fight for really, and we've seen some great racing over the last couple of months. So I mean, we've come quite a long way really, and it's going to be I think we've found a lot of new talent as well, and enthusiasm is just fantastic of how many people are actually interested in getting involved and just try giving a hand, even though it's virtual, and even in the virtual sense, but giving a hand in motorsport and seeing whether they enjoy it or not.
Yeah, I mean, we started out this in, I mean, you guys started this in April in 2020, and so, since the lockdown, and we started out with different games, and now we've come along. On the PC, on the PS4, we started out with the GD Sport. Now we moved on towards F1 and GD Sport, and on the PC again, it was multiple games, Assetto Corsa, R Factor 2, iRacing. We did use F1 as well, so we are expanding as well. So if anybody interested, watching and wants to know how to get in touch, you can put it down in the comment section below, or find us at UltimateE official on Instagram and DM us.
Yeah.
Then we'll guide you through exactly how you want to be able to take part in these championships. So all you need is the game and a very basic steering wheel and pedal system that pretty much works with any computer, and that's it. That's all you need. So
I
get in
mean, if
touch.
if you're on a PS4, you don't even need a steering wheel. It could just be on your on your remote, on your console.
Yeah, that's even easier, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just get in touch and we'll get you on the grid. Don't worry, we got you.
Well, thanks for the shorty. So I mean, and yeah, just going back, just talking to this week. I mean, we for those tuning in, we've got Formula One right now. But then I'm sure all of you are going to go and watch qualifying post this. But then do come back and join us again, where we've got the Battle of the Stars. On iRacing. So there we've got the GT3 format, where Stoll will be one of the racing drivers as well. So we've got the different variations of motorsport that's going on that'll keep you all engaged and entertained throughout the weekend. That much we can promise you.
Yeah, definitely. And driving there, it's a lot more intense than just watching. I'm pretty sure. So everybody wants to get involved. Please do get involved. And right now we're just waiting for the session to be ready. And once that's done, we will be on our way on to the next 25% race.
Yeah, what are you? Who you gonna bet your money on, Sohel? I mean, looking at race one, looking at how strong Rajdeep was, do you think he can come back from P8? Do you think he has the pace, or can he strategize himself to make it all the way back to the top three at least? Like,
Yeah,
whereas you've got competitive guys who are starting in that mid pack who might make life tough, difficult for him.
yeah, the drivers who finished top three the previous days, all three have a good chance, and I think that at least two of them will make it to the podium. Namely, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Swaggy Dilly and Rashdeep Paul, because I think Swaggy could have been able to overtake the Phantom, but with this new game, there is a bit more realism and dirty air, as we call it, and that must have hindered him. And we've seen him come back pretty strong last time, and Rashdeep Paul, simply because of the amount of pace that he has, he's just super quick, and the dirty air shouldn't be affecting him that much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And as everything just loads up, we will be joining them live on the grid. Um to start this race, the longer feature race as we call it.
This is kind of opposite what we do. We run the sprint first and then the feature, uh, and yeah, the longer race also gives drivers to make up these positions, and yeah. So let's see what are we.
It opens room for mistakes, so that's what I'm telling
Yeah.
you. And that's when we're gonna really see a little shuffle going on. Another thing is, like, I mean, you have quick guys at the back like Brandon and Pradyumna who usually are always up front, and you might see them coming through as well if they stay out of trouble. And troubling, it may not the top three, but at least in the top 10, creating some drama there.
Yep, definitely. And Akhil Agarwal also made up quite a lot of positions the previous days. But now, as we get on to five red lights and they're off, it's been a quite a wait again. And they're off. Akhil Agarwal on pole, getting a decent start,
Oh,
making
again.
the exact same crash. But I think this is a solo crash for the Haas of Online Freak Boy. I don't really know what's his actual name. Never mind. But yeah, Swaggy Dilly already making it up into P2. And that's a really, really strong start for him. Rajdeep Paul up into 7th, the Phantom up into 6th. So they made one position up each. But Swaggy Dilly, it's a really good start, and there is some sort of chaos going on at the back. Everybody trying to make positions side by side. But yeah, they're going up the hill right now. The Mercedes trying to fight the Alpha Tauri of I think that's Rajdeep Paul and the Phantom. So they're fighting hard as well. Rajdeep Paul trying to make his moves early. Quite a lot of drivers on the alternative strategy as well. One of them is Rajdeep Paul starting out on the mediums instead of the more expected soft tires, and there's an Alpha Tauri, I believe, of Akhil Agarwal as well on the medium, so that would explain why he got an okay start. But yeah, Rajdeep Paul making a position, Phantom making a position, Swaggy Dilly with an amazing start
Raj's
against
ball is
Sachin.
falling down the order. He's had an
Oh,
incident somewhere there. He's gone off. He's gone all the way down to 14th. So,
oh, okay. Well, one of
um,
my predictions has gone to shit.
right. But yeah, I mean, you have Ticket 27 who's leading right now. But unfortunately, Rajdeep, who had a good start and was looking strong, like you said, he was on the alternate strategy. Unfortunately, things haven't worked out and he's dropped to 14th after an instant. But yeah, Swaggy's come on strong. He's looking really strong, coming up all the way from 6th to 2nd. Sid Venkatesh he's come to 9th. He started in 18th, 17th, 18th place, and he's come all the way to 9th. So he's made up a lot of positions as well. But again, they're looking quite settled going. I think is that Swaggy in the lead, if I'm not wrong. Swaggy has taken the lead,
Ooh,
and Ticket has made a mistake, and he's gone off, and he's taken another Ferrari with him. So
yeah,
the two
he's
cars
taking a
have gone off
Ferrari
again.
and a bit of a Red Bull as well. So Red Bull did have to go off track to avoid the incident, but looks like made himself back on track. That was Arya, I believe.
So the virtual
And
safety cars on track,
yeah.
virtual safety cars on track, and let's just hope they don't run into one another. So the virtual safety cars, basically all the yellow lights start flashing, and the drivers have to follow a certain speed limit. Once the incident is cleared, the marshal, the race director will call it green, and then they'll get an alarm on the steering wheel, and they can go racing again. So let's see who reacts at the right time.
Yeah, but now this just gives Rajdeep Paul to calm himself a little bit, knowing that he's down in P12. Yeah, at this current state, I think Swaggy is currently will be leading and winning the championship in this current form. But Rajdeep Paul has to make sure that he's calm and make those places up one by one, not make any more mistakes. And the virtual safety car is off, and everyone's reacted pretty well. The top four are fairly close to each other, but we are gonna be expecting Swaggy there to sort of run away. But I'm gonna keep my eyes on Rajdeep Paul right now to see how he's making a position. And Tanes
So
has made a
even
fairly
Tanis
early good
is
start.
just
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, guys. Sorry to cut you off. So, can you change the scene to main screen?
Oh shit, my bad.
No problem.
All right. Um.
sorry for that. We're back now. And just getting back to the action, you have Swaggy in the lead, who's followed by Arya. And these two, I know, keep racing every night with each other. And so they're running 1 and 2 right now with Akhil in third. This actually has worked out really well for Akhil, who's running on the medium tires now, and he can just get into and make the strategy work really right now.
Yeah, he's doing his best to make that strategy work. But as we focus on Akhil Agarwal right now, he's made up quite a lot of places after losing out at the start, starting on pole on the alternate strategy. Might even work out for him to get P2 because Arya is currently on the soft tires, and Akhil is doing pretty well to keep up with him on the mediums. And Phantom as well is on the soft tires, not able to make the move on Arya. So he's in a pretty good position to make those overtakes up later in the race on the faster tire on lower fuel.
No, definitely. That's exactly why the alternate strategy is so strong. If you can survive the first half of the race and get those mediums into a good window, the softs really come in well at the end of the race and give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, but as you say that, Akhil Agarwal has just got a 3 second time penalty, so that's gonna make things even more interesting because he's gonna have to make up that position and go one step further to get that 3 second gap between him and the driver behind him. So
Yeah.
uh, currently would roughly be in around P5 or P4, and yeah, so he's not gonna lose much right now, but yeah, he's definitely gonna try to work it around and if he just has to make sure he doesn't get more penalties. And Phantom as well got a 3 second penalty just now, so everyone's getting penalties. So it's just going, it's just really going
It's
nowhere.
only lap four, so we're only on lap four, and we've already got two DNFs, a couple of penalties. Still a long way to go. 13 laps to go. Let's see what happens as this race unfolds. These guys got to realize that the first lap doesn't is not you don't win the race in your first lap. You got to just wait it out and let your strategy come in really and just get into a consistent rhythm. I know it's
Yeah.
easier said than done, but that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly how you said it. But yeah, the Brandon made a good comeback as well. Made up 7 positions along with Pradyumna starting pretty far behind and out into P7. But Online Cool Boy is now in the pits, and he's he's gonna come out pretty much towards the back, and then now he's gonna come out on the mediums and make some overtakes. And yeah, Swaggy Dilly extending his lead in the front as well, and Akul Agarwal P3 keeping up with myself Arya, and yeah, it's just going on very clean right now and very less chaotic to what we used to.
You've also got Akshay Hoover. We've got yellow flag in secretary, so I wonder who's gone off there. But you've also got Akshay Hoover, who's quietly made up 10 positions and is running a strong sixth right now. I'm not sure what strategy he's on or what tires he's on, but yeah, he's also done a really good job after missing out in race one.
Yeah, he's also done a really good job. I think he was involved in the first lap incident in the previous race. So, yeah, we're currently looking at Brandon Zachariah, who is just right behind Akshay Hua, and he is on the primary strategy on the soft tires right now, looking to make the pit stop in the next couple of laps. So, yeah, it's gonna get more and more interesting as the race goes through with the strategies coming along to play with. And yeah, Akul Agarwal also has just been overtaken by the Phantom for P3 up ahead. So this is for position as they have penalties, and you can see on the right hand side of the screen that the pit window is now open for a one-stop medium strategy, and that's just going to make things interesting. And Rashdeep Paul has also set his pace right, and just done the fastest lap of the race down in
Uh,
P9.
He's coming back into P9, but here we join this battle between the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo. Really going hard and defensive through the first couple of corners, and then now building out a gap. But like you said, yeah, the pit lane is open now, and then you'll see a lot of people on the soft tires coming to make the pit stop and switch to mediums, and getting into a rhythm to take on the next 10 laps.
Yeah, the drivers on the alternate strategy are going to move up right now, and a lot of them are on the alternate strategy. As we can see, we are looking at Akshay Hoover currently. Sorry, Akhil Agarwal, my bad, who is also on the alternate strategy, the first of the alternate strategy runners. So he will be in the lead of this race once the drivers ahead of him pit, and he will have clean air to make up that time. As yeah, we have the Phantom in the pits right now, the soft. We have Swaggy Dilly in the pits on the soft, myself Arya going on for another lap on the set of softs. So yeah, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Akil Agarwal is going to be able to make up some places on that alternate strategy?
So it all depends. I feel like they need to pit for the soft tires on the 11th or 12th lap, right? Which means they've got at least 4 to 5 laps on these tires that are left. And now these 4 laps are going to be like qualifying laps where they can really try and build out a gap. They've got no one in front of them, the first two, and they really need to get into like qualifying mode, I think. And then the next 4 laps have to be just on it, where they can build out a reasonable gap for when they make the pit stop.
Of course, yeah, well said there then. And Akil Agarwal also keeping up with Arya, who I assume is going to pit on this lap for his set of softs. So once he makes his pit stop, we'll have to see where does he come out in relation to Swaggy Dilly and the Phantom, who are currently in P8 and 10 respectively. And Rajdeep Paul also should be coming in at the end of this lap from P7, so he should also be coming out somewhere between P11 and 12. So he will have places to make up. But remember, there are still other drivers on the alternate strategy ahead of him who are yet to make a pit stop. And here we are looking at this
Oh, there's
battle.
an incident. There's an incident. They've touched.
Yeah,
There's a bit.
you can see Brandon Zachary has completely lost his end plates on both sides, so he will have to make a pit stop no matter what tires is he on.
So both Akshay Hoover and Brandon both fighting each other, both pit at the same time as well. Let's see who has a faster pit stop. We know Brandon has some front wing changes to be made or replaced. It has to be replaced. But yeah, the top four haven't pitted yet. That is Akhil Agarwal, Arjun, Pradyumna, and Rajdeep Paul have not pitted yet. The rest have made their pit stops and have come back in. The gaps, they're not too far behind. Swaggy Dylan is only 2 seconds behind Rajdeep Paul, so it's not that far. So if you look at it, Akhil's only got a 12-second lead, which is not enough. You know, a 12-second lead is not enough to be amongst the top three.
Yeah, but coming back to the fight that we have in our screens right now, that's Pradyumna Prakash and Rajdeep Paul, both on the old setup of the mediums, and
Yeah.
Swaggy really not too far behind on a brand new set of mediums, just closing in. And as these guys battle it out, they're just losing time to him. And remember, he was the race leader before he pit, so he is currently in net P1. And if these guys battle it out, they're just gonna continue losing time to him.
Yeah, they need a pit now.
I like how you emphasize on now.
Now.
Just get into the pits. Yeah, so, but yeah, once they pit, they will be super quick on soft tires, which will bring them back into contention
But
possibly.
what this is also going to do is this is also going to slow down Swaggy. So you know, if he catches this battle and the longer they stay out and if they defend, Swaggy is going to have a tough time getting past them, and he's only going to lose time to people like Akhil and Azun who are in the top two. And who actually have some breathing space really.
Yeah, and now Rajdeep Paul's also gone out into clean air after overtaking Pradyumna Prakash. We know how quick he can be, but I think Swaggy is not wasting any time, and he's already gone past Pradyumna Prakash. I say that.
So Pradyumna is driving down the inside again.
He's not making it easy for Swaggy Dilly, and he's gone around his outside. But I think now I think Pradyumna Prakash won't be able to do anything because of the tire differences that's there. But now Swaggy Dilly has to make that time up to Rajdeep Paul. But yeah, he's looking in good time to come back out in P1 because the P2 and P1 are currently not too far ahead of him.
Oh, not at all. I mean, I think he's looking in a great position really. And I don't see anyone who's going to be challenging him anytime soon. As long as he keeps the most clean, But apart from the guys who are on the medium tire, who start on the medium tires, I think, for example, Pradyumna needs to pit now because those tires aren't doing any good for him. That's it.
Yeah, just as you said, he's in the pits right now, and he will be going on to this set of softs for the next 8 laps, which includes this current lap. So, yeah, many of these drivers on the alternate strategy will be coming into the pits in the next 2-3 laps, and that's when we'll get an idea of what's actually going around in this race and how far of a lead does Swaggy have over P2. And
So before they pitted, Swaggy was leading, and Arya was second, not too far behind. But post the pit stop, Swaggy really has got a 4 second lead on Arya. So he has made time post the pit stop, to be honest.
yeah, definitely, and he has, and we don't know if Ari had any damage on his front wing. I doubt he did because he was able to keep up with Swaggy pretty well initially, but yeah, he just lost out in the long run with those mistakes, as you said, the room for mistakes, and minor mistakes will lose you some time. And yeah, even Phantom has fallen back from Arya, who was pretty close to him as well, and. Now it's just Akhil Agarwal who is currently in the pits. I want to know where he comes on because he was fighting for P3 with the Phantom as the Phantom pits. So it's just gonna make things more interesting now.
So Arjun has taken up the lead. Rajdeep is still out there in second, and Swaggy has gone into third. Arya in fourth. Akhil is still not out of the pits. He is out of the pits, but he has dropped down to sixth, and Phantom is in fifth. Actually no. Sorry, even Tanya has gotten past Akhil. So the strategy hasn't really worked. It hasn't really worked. Or maybe he still has an opportunity, I feel, to come into the top four. Maybe the top three is stretching it, but the top four at least, in the next 6 laps.
Yeah, definitely. But remember, he is on the softer compound on lighter fuel, so
Yeah.
he is going to be quicker than what Phantom, Arya, and Swaggy was in the initial part of this race. And Rajdeep Paul just going even longer, which means he's just going to be that much more quicker towards the end. And I think Kakil Agarwal does still have a chance for a podium in this race. I mean, he's a surprise out of all of this we had so far.
Oh, that'll be really interesting because that means we're going to have a really exciting last couple of laps, a good showdown to the finish line, and that's exactly what I think our viewers and us in the box want.
Yeah, I mean, now you just have to pray for nobody to make that mistake and fall off. And as P1
Yeah.
and P2, Azun and Rajdeep are now in the pits,
Yeah.
and they will be running around 6 laps on the set of tires. So that'll be really, really, really good to watch now.
Yeah, that's going to be like a little qualifying section that they're going to come back into and try and make as many paces as possible. But coming across the line, you've got Swaggy Dilly who resumed the lead. He's got a 5.9 second gap, 6 second gap on Arya. So that's a lot of time gained post the pit stop. You got Phantom another 3.5 seconds behind in third. Tane Singh, who's again about 3.9, who's in fourth, followed by Akil. That's the top five, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Dana is on a hard set of tires, so he was one of the drivers who made a very early pit stop. I believe he had some damage, so he is definitely holding up Akhil Agarwal on the soft tires. I see him locking up going into turn 5, and that's just gonna hinder him because he's now fallen back even more to Tane Singh. He needs to get past like right now.
Yeah, right now, exactly. If he has, I mean, if he wants to finish on that podium, he needs to start making quick work of all the guys who are in front of him, really. But right now we're riding with Voyager in the Ferrari, and he's really closing on the Alfa Romeo in front of him. Just gives him a little tap going to the left-hander there. Keep it really tight. He might make a move into the chicane. He might be a little too. No, he's not close enough.
I think the chicane is a bit too risky on the game. Maybe not as much in real life, but yeah, it's way too risky in the game because obviously you don't have the mirrors and everything going on
Yeah.
like you would. So and the halo kind of blocks everything in the game. Oh,
So
that's an
they
incident. That's
touched.
Akhil Agarwal.
They touched. Yep. He tried making a move, went on the outside, had the inside for the left-hander, and then they made contact. That's pushed him right back into Azun's nose, really, and then he's going to start defending now from there.
Yeah, Azun is on a brand new set of soft tires, about a lap or two newer than Akhil Agarwal's, and with the way he's been locking up into that exact same corner, I don't think they're in pretty good shape either. So yeah, Azun has got all the opportunities to make up, and Rajdeep Paul is down in P9 as well. So he has a lot of time to make up as well, and currently Swaggy Dilly looks like he's on for the win, pretty much easy win for him, and it's going to be the championship win for him as well. And Swaggy Dilly's done an excellent job, especially at the start, coming up into P2 by turn 3, starting P6 is not an easy job, especially on the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all know how difficult it is to keep a clean nose, especially in virtual sense, because you don't actually have the physical feel of it. But once you get that, I mean, it's just like real life, right? You make a small mistake and you pay dearly for it.
Yeah.
And we wait for the weekend for a race to happen, and then you could have damage in the second lap, and you lose that opportunity. So I think it creates that discipline that every race driver needs, and how to plan a race and how to how to go from lap to lap, really, and make the right moves.
Yeah, exactly like you said, but not just physical. It's even the visual because you
Yeah.
really don't have the head movement and stuff going on, so it just makes things harder. But now Tane Singh, sorry, Voyager right now on the hard set of tires in the Ferrari, completely losing places left and right with drivers catching up and getting past. Rajdeep Paul just got past him, and Pradyumna Prakash right on his heels behind him. So this is going to be an interesting end over there as well. A lot of drivers fighting for one position, and in the lead, Swaggy Dilly on a Sunday stroll, 7 seconds ahead. of Arya, who is another 2 seconds, and the gap's coming down simultaneously with Phantom and Tane Singh and Akul Agarwal having that incident a couple of laps ago, and Azun P6 starting P4 on the alternate strategy on a very fast set of tires right now. Rajdeep Paul behind him. The quickest driver on track that we have right now is in P7 again, charging in hard. So that's kind of a summary going into the last 2 3 laps and what we can look forward to as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you got Rajiv who's pushing through, and there's contact again here with Ferrari, and I think that's Pradyumna who's trying to make that move, and he pushes, he pushes Voyage off the circuit. Then unfortunately, Voyage has gone off, and there's a yellow flag. I wonder there's going to be a virtual safety car. Well, there was some aggressive, aggressive driving there by Pradyumna Prakash, who hasn't had the best of Saturdays really, because you know he's a strong, he's been strong right through. But yeah, but incidents and I think bad strategy calls have unfortunately put him in the back. But yeah, moving up again, we're following the Phantom now in P3, um, and he's about 1.3 behind Arya. So I think he's just going to focus on finishing on the podium really. So
Yeah, that's I think his main goal. But he obviously wants to make up those points to Rajdeep Paul, and I think he's on track to do that. But just to make sure, I think he's gonna go for it because he is quicker than Arya, and he's just 9 tenths behind. He's brought that gap down, and I think we're gonna see some last lap action as well on this race. And
yeah,
Arya will probably start feeling some pressure right
we're
now.
on the penultimate lap, and we're on the penultimate lap, and we've got potential battles brewing up within this lap itself. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there could potentially be a move on to the next straight if Arya
Yeah.
makes a mistake. Otherwise, if I was Phantom, I would just be aiming for the main straight at this point in time, not even thinking of this next coming up straight.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get it. Just line it up, get right behind his gearbox, and then come and make sure you get a good exit out of the chicane, and DRS out of the last corner.
Yeah, that's basically all you need. DRS and slipstream,
Yeah,
and then you're done. You're done. That's it. Next.
yeah.
Yeah,
Here you see him keep it really clean. Nothing too dramatic, not pushing too hard or over the limit. Very sensible here, just trying to close the gap little by little. And like you said, for listening to what we said of just trying to use that DRS, but didn't look like he was close enough really.
yeah, and he made a mistake in the last corner, the right hander. Sorry, my bad. Second last corner, the right hander in the chicane, and just took a bit too much curb and went wide, and he lost some time there. And that's actually what would have potentially cost him second place because there is a lot of time to the next straight, but. I don't think it's enough for him to make it up. But we look at Swag Italy here, who has done absolutely nothing wrong this race, put every foot right, and currently leading the race by 7.5 seconds, and that's massive if you ask me. And he's done a phenomenal job today. I think we've lost the man for a bit, so I'm going to take you around this last lap. With Swag Italy coming around, just starting this third sector, he's done absolutely nothing wrong. I believe he is catching out the McLaren back marker as well. So he's definitely not done anything wrong. Catching up to back markers in a 25% race in an online lobby. Um, where we did not see any chaos, considering it's an online lobby. We did not see too much of chaos. So, uh, yeah, it's really clean from him. And now P2, P3 really close. Will there be an online overtake? I don't think so. Fanon trying to cut as much of the corner as possible, trying to get as close as possible. But yeah, Swaggy Dilly P1, Arya P2, Phantom P3 by exactly a second. Down in P4, we have Tane Singh coming across the line in the Ferrari, and Akul Agarwal coming in P5, who I think does have a penalty. That's why he's fallen back. And Azun P6, Rajdeep Paul P7, good comeback after falling down to P12, but not good enough for the championship, unfortunately for him. And Akshay Hua P8, Pradyumna Prakash P9, Sid Kulkarni in P10, Brandon Zakaria coming around the last few corners. These guys in P11 and 12 right now. So this is Sid Kulkarni on your screens right now, coming through in P10. Voyage is already finished, being a lap down, and yeah, Sid Venkatesh coming across the final few corners, 20 seconds behind Sir Venkatesh, Sid Kulkarni, my bad, and yeah, so it's just been a really good race. I don't know where we lost Arman. Hopefully he's back. But yeah, we just under 2 minutes to go, or just one more driver yet to cross the line. We are here at the end of our adventure across this F1 2020 game on the PS4, and yeah, there it is. The race is over, and Swaggy Dilly with a phenomenal job wins this race, and yeah, hats off to him for now. And yeah, we have Akshay Hoover as a confirmed driver of the day, so he's done a really good job as well on their alternate strategy. But yeah, here in front of your screen should be the final results coming up, I think, or is it the podium ceremony? Anyway, but yeah, we just had a very good race, exciting, and yeah, there it is, Swaggy taking that picture on the screen, on the podium, and making memories out of it, and yeah, on the podium doing the celebration and stuff. Yeah, just everyone looks happy to be on the podium at this point of time. But yeah, so I really again a really good job, and yeah, we should have the result on the screen right now. There it is, the confirmation of the Swaggy Dilly win, and he should be winning the championship from this point on. And we've had such an exciting two races. The five lapper with Rajdeep Paul absolutely gunning it with that pace that he had, wins by around 4 seconds. And this second race, the 25% race, Swaggy Dilly doing an absolutely phenomenal job at the start, getting up into P2, making sure he doesn't have any damage while doing so, and the others finish as well. So we had a really good race. I'm Solskjaer. You'll probably see me again soon. And with me was Arman Ibrahim on the commentary, and we hope to see you soon next time on Ultimate E. So stay tuned.